My 24M girlfriend 23F accidentally sent me a naked picture. I've been dating Christina for a year. We have been long distance for the last 2 months, with 2 more months to go until she gets back from a program she is in. We often talk over Facebook chat. If you guys don't know how FB chat works, if you copy and paste a photo into the box, it sends it automatically. You don't get to preview it before it sends. So, Christina and I are talking. She says she wants to send me this funny gif of a dog, and then she accidentally sends me a naked picture of herself, in her bedroom. It wasn't a selfie. She quickly apologized and backpedaled, saying that she meant that for me, but she wanted to send it later, as a surprise. I asked her who took it, and she said she set a self-timer on the camera on her iPhone. This excuse especially doesn't make any sense to me, because from the angle it's at, it definitely seems like a person took it. The weird thing is, Christina and I don't exchange nudes. I've never asked any girl for a naked photo, and she's never asked one of me. Sometimes we send each other steamy texts, but that's the extent of it. I'm also suspicious because the photo was already saved to her clipboard, which makes me feel like she pasted it somewhere already. Is my girlfriend cheating on me? How do I even find out? Update: my 24M girlfriend 23F accidentally sent me a naked picture. Thanks to everyone for their replies. It really helped put things into perspective. For example, it is way more common to take self-timer nudes than I thought, and that it's possible to check the metadata for a photo and find out some details like whether or not it was taken on a self-timer. I want to thank one of you for asking me if Christina and I had actually dated for a full year yet, or if we had an anniversary coming up. Because, as it turns out, we did. I don't know why I didn't make the connection on my own. And, as it turns out, my girlfriend is not cheating on me. A couple days ago I got a big package in the mail to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. Among other things, it contained an envelope filled with multiple nude photos of my wonderfully awesome girlfriend, with a note saying, "I know you never asked, but I wanted to give you something special since I can't be there with you." Among the photos was the one that she accidentally sent to me. She also included a USB with the photos uploaded, along with the physical copies, so that I could have digital versions. Here are a few extra details to better explain what happened. Christina did indeed take the photos herself. I asked her nicely how she managed to do a self-timer at such a good angle, because my initial reaction to the photos were that somebody else obviously must have taken them. She showed me through FaceTime how she was able to prop her phone up against some objects in her room, and they were exactly from the angle she sent them at. To further corroborate this story, Christina had actually confirmed my address with one of our mutual friends a few days before the accidental copy and paste situation went down. So she had in mind that she wanted to send this package before, not as a cover-up for accidentally giving herself away. When I asked her how she accidentally managed to send that particular nude, she said that she was copying and pasting the files from one folder to the USB she sent me. She forgot that the nude was still on her clipboard. When she tried to send me that GIF, it didn't copy properly, and instead she pasted what was on her clipboard previously. She said she was just relieved that it was me she made this mistake on, and not somebody else. Finally, I took the advice that many of you messaged me. I checked the data on the image files and they were indeed taken recently on a self-timer. So, sigh of relief. Thank you to everyone here for putting my mind at ease. I was convinced that everyone was going to say I was definitely being cheated on. But honestly, Christina has never done anything to even make me suspect that she would be cheating. I am very happy. Story 2. My 18M older sister's 23F boyfriend 23F was showing a bunch of mates' nude pictures of my sister. I told my sister, but she thinks I'm lying. I was hanging around at my sister's boyfriend's house with a bunch of my friends and his friends, talking about stuff. The conversation eventually dragged towards girls and time, and they started showing each other nude pictures they had on their phone, basically pictures had promised to never show anyone. My sister's boyfriend started boasting to everyone about the stuff he'd done with my sister. I told him to cut it out cause it was disrespectful, and I made the mistake of saying he was making it up. He then showed us all pictures of her he had on her phone, all naked and in various time-old positions he'd taken during time. I got extremely angry and told him he was on a shoal for showing them. All the guys were basically like, "You're just pissed cause it's your sister, you didn't care when it was the other girls." I told them that's because I don't know the other girls, but of course I'd be pissed if I saw my sister's boyfriend betraying her trust like that. I told them he was disgusting and I was going to tell her. They were all like, "Aw, come on man," and telling me I was breaking the bro code. I left and went back home and I told my sister everything that had happened and how her boyfriend was showing everyone those photos and bragging about how he had promised not to show them. She instantly got angry at me and didn't believe me, telling me I'm lying, and I'm just trying to break them up because I hate him. I kept insisting that it's true, but she just got more upset and said I was lying. She asked her boyfriend about it, and naturally he said I was lying, and what's more he said the reason I know about the photos is cause he caught me snooping through his phone to look at pictures of her. I tried to get my friends or people who were there to back me up, nobody did. Now not only does my sister think I'm a liar and is still with this douchebag who betrayed her trust, but she thinks I'm a disgusting pervert who snooped through her BF's phone to look at naked time pictures of her, which I think is absolutely crazy. She told me how gross I am and how I ought to be ashamed of myself for what I did and then lying about it, and she even threatened to tell my parents unless I apologized. I knew it would be their word against mine, so I didn't want her to tell my parents, so I just apologized anyway. But now she keeps giving me disgusted looks at home and acting like I'm some sort of creepy monster. Like, she'd do little things like adjust her shirt or pull up the neckline whenever I look at her, as if I'm a creeper. It makes me feel really hurt and worthless. I was just looking out for her and wanted to help and protect her, but now this is what I get. I'm really upset about the whole thing. It's hurting me a lot on a personal level because I don't like to be thought of as a liar and a perv. I really don't know what to do. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, your sister is being dumb. You did the right thing in telling her. Now the onus is on her to make the right decision. Redditor 2, I knew it would be their word against mine, so I didn't want her to tell my parents, so I just apologized anyway. But now she keeps giving me disgusted looks at home and acting like I'm some sort of creepy monster. Never confess to something that you are not guilty of. This applies to your personal life, your business career, and should you be interrogated by the police. The only way to come back from this is to get one of the other guys to corroborate the story for that particular instance, and that sounds doubtful. Even if she were to catch the BF admitted to lying, she still would probably believe that you were a creepy on some level because you already confessed. She told me how gross I am and how I ought to be ashamed of myself for what I did and then lying about it, and she even threatened to tell my parents unless I apologized. This is how you should handle it in the future. I am sorry you do not believe me. I am telling you the truth, even though it may hurt, because I love you and want to protect you. Feel free to tell our parents, then let her deal with it. Redditor follow-up, yay, your only mistake was apologizing. Come on man. You're better than that.
Redditor 3, she told me how gross I am. Just tell her you thought it was pretty gross seeing you doing X, Y and Z in those pictures while your boyfriend was boasting about the whole thing. Like, she'd do little things like adjust her shirt or pull up the neckline whenever I look at her. Next time she does that, just laugh and say you will need to make a lot more adjustments than that around Jim and Bill and Ted cause they were treated to a knifeful. I'm really upset about the whole thing. Don't be, you did the right thing. Maybe just give her some space for a few weeks.
You don't need to follow my advice, I'm evil tongue. Redditor follow-up, I don't think those replies you typed are evil. They are short and concise statements that put it back on her. It is also the hard truth. Those other guys all got a good look. And she should be pulling up her collar around each and every one of them. Redditor 4, tell your parents. They will believe you. Redditor 5, well, so you learned several valuable lessons all at once it seems. The bro code is not about lying to women, it is about supporting men. Any asshat who tries to use it as an excuse for why it is okay to break a woman's trust is not to be trusted as an actual man but to be dismissed as a boy child. It is not okay to be looking at nudes on people's phones that girls ask them not to ever show anyone else. Doesn't matter if it is your sister or not, they are human beings you should show respect to even if you don't know them. You should have objected immediately and in the future should do so if a similar situation arises. You should not have warned her BF you were going to tell her. You probably should have taken his phone and smashed it or punched him in the mouth. I can understand why you didn't if you were outnumbered, but whatever. Either way, he did not deserve a warning after refusing to put them away out of respect for you and your sister. You can't control other people, and telling someone they're so is cheating or otherwise breaking their trust is fraught with backfire ability. You can't make your sister believe you. She will just have to find out on her own what a DCK weasel her BF is. You can indeed warn her. What happens next is her own fault. You should not have apologized. This makes you look very guilty, and now almost nobody will believe you. You should have called her bluff and told her to absolutely tell your parents. I am sure they'd love to know that their daughter is sharing nudes of herself with a total idiot and a shoal. You should not have acted ashamed. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Next time, stand up for yourself and maintain the truth no matter what, otherwise there is no point in telling it in the first place. So, unfortunately, there is not a lot you can do about it now. I'd still consider talking to your parents and tell them about it so they can understand you are not some perv no matter what your sister says does. I would reiterate to your sister that you did nothing wrong and are only warning her that she is dating an shoal. Tell her she will find out the truth someday, and you won't expect an apology then, but will expect her to treat you better. Then ignore all of her idiotic behavior in the meantime. Redditor follow-up: I agree with all this except you can't go around punching people and breaking their phones. Don't do that.